Good day, sir. We are the Group 7 and we're going to answer and discuss the final term output of Lesson 8. So we are given 3 tasks for us to answer.
The first task is about computation of grade using norm reference grading system. The second task is computation of grade in K-12 using front-end equation approach. And for task 3, we are going to calculate a student's grade in third quarter for the school year 2023-2024.
And after discussion, we are going to share our insights on the importance of the responsible, accurate, and honest grading for the teachers.
So for task 1, these are the final grades obtained in a class of grade 8 students. So we have here 2 sets, which is set A and set B. So set A, it consists of 22 number of students, while in set B, it consists of 23 number of students. So first, we're going to arrange the lowest to highest score of these students. So in set A, we have 75, which is the lowest score, and 92 is the highest score. While in set B, 75 is the lowest score, while 91 is the highest score. So now we're going to get the number of students from set A and set B. So since set A consists of 22 number of students, then set B, it consists of 23 number of students. So in set A, 75 is our lowest score. While in set B, 75 is also our lowest score. While in set A, we have 92, which is the highest score. And in set B, 91 is our highest score. So to calculate the range, we're going to subtract the highest score to the lowest score. So since 92 is our highest score, we're going to subtract A to 75, which is the lowest score from set A. So we have 70. So in set B, our highest score is 91. Then we're going to subtract it to the lowest score, which is 75. So we have 60. So now we're going to calculate the 7-point scale. So in set A, we're going to get the range division. So since our range from set A is 17, we're going to divide it to the 7-point scale, which is 7. So 17 divided by 7 is equals to 2.43. In set B also, our range is 16, then we're going to divide it to the 7-point scale. So 16 divided by 7, which is 2.28. Now we're going to calculate the failing grade range. So in set A, since 75 is our failing grade, we're going to put 75, then we're going to add it to the
the range will be multiplied to the 8-point scale or 8. So in set A, we have 17 divided by 8 is equals to 2.13. In set B, the range is 16, that will be divided to 8 is equals to 2. So we will now get the filling grade range. So in finding the filling grade range, we will add the lowest score to the range division. So 75 plus 2.13 is equals to 77.13. We'll put here 75 to 77.13. In set B, same procedure. The lowest score plus 2 is equals to 77. So 75 to 77. So in set A, the grade 75, 75, and 77 are the filling grades. While in set B, 75, 77, and 77 are the filling grades. So therefore, there are 3 students who failed in set A. And in set B, there are 4 students who failed.
Go.
In comparison, both 7-point scale and 8-point scales, failing score remain within 75 to 77 range for both sets. However, the number of failing students changes because in set A, there are 3 students who failed in both scales. And in set B, there are 4 students who failed in both scales. In set B, it has a slightly smaller range, which is 16. Compared to set A, which is 17, it has a much longer range. This results in slightly smaller intervals between grades level in set B, especially in the 7-point scale.
So for task 1B, here's the raw score for grade 7 English and grade 10 Mathematics. So for grade 7 English, in written words, students got 72 out of 30, and in performance task, students got 86 out of 110. And scores in quarterly test, students got 67 out of 85. So to calculate the percentage score, we're going to use this formula. So raw score divided to highest possible score times 100. So in written word, grade 7 student in English got 72. So 72 divide to the highest possible score, which is 90, times to 100 is equal to 80%. So the grade 7 English written work is 80%. So for the performance task, we're going to divide the raw score to the highest possible score and times to 100. So 86 divide 110, which is the highest possible score, and times to 100. So the total is 78.80%. So the performance task divide 55 and times 200. So students got 61.81%. And for performance task, students got 40 out of 80. So 40 divided 80 times 100. Students got 50%. Then for quarterly test, students got 38. 38 divided 50 times 100. So students got 76%. So using these ways, we're going to calculate the percentage score for both subjects. So 80 times 0.50 equals to 24. For the performance task, 78.80 times 50% is equals to 39. And for the quarterly test, the 78.82 times to the 20% is equals to 15.76. To get the weight score of the grade 10 mathematics, we're going to multiply the 61.81% to 14%. So 61.81 times 24. So the total is 94.72. So for the performance task, the 50% will be multiplied to 40%. 50 times 0.48 equals to 20. For the quarterly test, so we're going to multiply 76% to 20%. So 76 times 0.20 is equals to 15.2. So these are the calculated weight score of the grade 7 English and the grade 10 mathematics. So to get the initial grade for grade 7, we're going to add the weighted score for the written work, performance task, and quarterly test. So 24 plus 39 plus 15.76 is equal to 78.76. So if transmuted, 78.76 will be 86. So the same process for the grade 10. So 24.72 plus 20 plus 15.2 is equals to 59.92. So the initial grade for grade 10 is 59.92. So if transmuted, 59.22 will be 70.4.
So for the task 2, these are the percentage score of Ismalis in Arabic Panlipunan for the first grading period. So I'm going to calculate all the missing values. So for the written work, we're going to calculate the written work 1 to written work 7. So we're going to add the total row score from written work 1 to written work 7. So we have 18 plus 10 plus 19 plus 20 plus 22 plus 25 plus 30 is equals to 144. So the total row score is 144. To calculate the percentage score, we're going to divide the total row score to the highest score and multiply to 100. percentage score times 0.30, which is the weighted score, so we have 22.73. So we're going to round up 73 to 74. So these are the calculated written words of Miss Maris.
We will now calculate Marie's row scores in performance tasks. So the highest possible score in performance tasks is 110. We will now add up Marie's row score to have her total row score. So 16 plus 24 plus 24 plus 28 is equals to 92. To get the percentage score, we will divide the row score to the highest possible score times the percentage score. So 92 divided by 110 times 100 is 83.64. So we will move on to Marie's scores in her quarterly assessment. So in the highest possible score in quarterly assessment is 50 and Marie's got 30. So we will divide the scores. So 30 divided by 50 times 100 for the percentage score is equals to 60. So to get the weighted score of her quarterly assessment, we will multiply 60 to the weighted score. So we get that 60 times 0.20 or 20% is equals to 12. So this is the overall percentage score of Miss Maris in Araling Panlipunan in 4 first grading period.
So now we're done computing the missing grades of Miss Maris. We can now proceed to compute the first quarter grade of Miss Maris. So to compute the first quarter grade of Miss Maris, we're going to the weighted score from written work, the performance task, and the quarterly assessment. So for written work, we have 22.74 added to 41.82, and for the quarterly assessment is 12. So the total is 76.56. So 76.56, we're going to round off the 76.56 into 77. And 77 will be transmitted to 85. So 85 is the first quarter grade of Miss Maris. So now we're done computing the first quarter grade of Miss Maris. We can proceed in computing her final rating. So given that Miss Maris grades for second, third, and fourth quarter are 87, 88, and 90. So to get her final rating, we need to add her first quarter grade, second quarter, and third quarter, and fourth quarter grade, and divide it into 4. So 85 plus 87 plus 88 and 90. So divide it into 4. So the total is 87.5. 87.5, and we're going to round it into 88. Therefore, Miss Maris' final rating is 88%. And its descriptive rating is pass. Then the computed grade is 92.
For task 2B, this is the final numerical rating and descriptive rating of Judy in other learning areas or subject. So here, the Araling Panlipunan is, we will fill in the missing value in Araling Panlipunan. So since earlier we already calculated to the next subject, which is mathematics. So we're going to have 67 as a partial score for this subject, and the weighted score for this subject is 40. So 67 times 0.40 is equal to 26.8. Next is the subject science. In the subject science, we will have 79 as his partial score. So we'll multiply that to 40% or 0.40, because that 40% is the given weighted score of this subject. So 79 times 0.40 is equal to 31.6. Then next subject is Aralin Panlipunan. The partial score is 83. So the weighted score of this subject is 50%. So 83 will be multiplied to 0.50 and it is equal to 41.5. The next subject is education sa pagkatao. So the partial score is 84, and the weighted score of this subject is 50%. So 84 will be multiplied to 0.50. So we have 42. Next subject is education sa tahanan at pagkabuhayan. So we will have 84 as the partial score of this subject. So this subject's weighted score is 60%. So we will multiply 84 times 0.60. It is equal to 50.4. So we will now move on to MAPE. So in this part of computing the grades, we will break down the components of the subject MAPE. So we have music, art, physical education, and health. So in the music, we will have 77 partial score, and we will multiply it to 60%. So 77 times 0.60 is equal to 46.682. Next is the art. So we will have 81 partial score of the subject, and this will be multiplied to 60%. So we have 48.6. Next is physical education. So we will have 80 as its partial score, and it will be multiplied to 60%. So we have 48 for this weighted score. Next and the last is the health. His partial score is 81, so we will multiply it to 60% to have his weighted score. So 81 times 0.60 is equal to 48.6. So this is the weighted score for Regal performance test.
So how do you want to calculate the weighted score for quarterly assessment? So it is given that in weighted score of quarterly assessment is 20%. So we have here the current partial score for different subjects. So in Filipino we have 75. So we need to multiply it in 0.20. 75 times 0.20 is equal to 50. So since Filipino and English are the same partial score, it is also weighted score of 50. So for mathematics, we have 62. 62 times 0.20 is 12.4. For science, we have 65 times 0.20 is 13. Then for Aralin Panlipunan, we have 83. So the weighted score for Aralin Panlipunan is 16.5.
So these are all the calculated weighted score for quarterly assessment.
To calculate the initial grade of RICO, we will be sum up all the weighted score for the reading works performance task of the quarterly assessment. So therefore, 25.5 plus 40.5 plus 15, it is the total of 81. So the initial grade for the Filipino subject of RICO is 81. So in English subject, the weighted score for the written works is 24.6. We will be sum up to the weighted score of the performance task, which is 38.5, and also the weighted score of a quarterly assessment. So to sum up all, it is 78.1. For the subject mathematics, the weighted score for the written works is 28.4, which will be sum up to the weighted score of the performance task, which is the 26.8, and also the weighted score of the quarterly assessment, which is the 12.4. To sum up all, it is 67.6. The same calculation process for the remaining subjects. So in science, we will be added all the weighted score, which will be 30.4, added to 31.6 and 13. So the initial grade is 75. For subject Arabic Lipunan, we will also add all the weighted score. So 24.9 plus 41.5 plus 16.6 equals to 83. Yung subject of edukasyon sa pagkakatao will be added all the weighted score, which therefore 25.2 will be added to 42 and 16.8. So the total number is 84. Then for the subject edukasyon pantahanan at pangkabuhayan, we'll also add all the weighted scores. Therefore, 16 will be added to 50.4 plus 15.4. So the total is 81.8. And for the subject mapping, which is music, arts, P&L, for the music, we'll also add all the weighted score. So 15.2 will be added to 46.2 and 15. So the initial grade is 76.4. And for the arts, will be added all the weighted score also. So therefore 17 plus 48.6 plus 16, the initial grade is 81.6. And for the physical education, will be added all the weighted score. 16 plus 48 plus 15.6, the initial grade is 79.6. And lastly, the health. So will be added all the weighted scores. So therefore, 17 plus 48.6 plus 15, the initial grade is 80.6. So these are all the computed initial grade of RICO.
These initial grades will be transmuted so that we'll have the quarterly grade. So in transmuting these grades, I am using the DepEd transmutation table. So it is indicated here that the grade 81 will be transmuted to 88. So the grade 70
Rico's composite grade in MAPE. How did you find it?
So to get the composite grade of Rico in MAPE, will be added all the four components of a subject. So therefore, 85 plus 88 plus 87 plus 87 is, the sum total is 347. Then will be divided into the four components. So the composite grade of Rico is 86.75. So if we're going to transmute it, the quarterly grade of Rico is 91. Okay, so
In which learning area did Rico perform best during the third quarter? Explain briefly your basis.
It is evident that Rico performed best in edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, where he earned a quarterly grade of 90, and this grade is his highest among all of the subjects. Rico showed a consistent and excellent scores in written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment.
In which learning area does Rico need to improve on? Why so?
So, Rico needs to improve in mathematics, where he gets the quarterly grade 79, which is the lowest grade among all his subjects. So, this indicates the challenges in understanding or applying the concept in his low scores in written work, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment.
What does his level of proficiency in Araling Panlipunan signify?
So Rico's grade in Araling Panlipunan is 89. So it signifies a very satisfactory level in this subject. So it shows that Rico has a deep understanding of a lesson, and also he is consistently doing well in every assessment.
Describe Rico's overall performance in the third quarter. How would you communicate this to his parents?
Rico's overall performance in third quarter is good. Most of his grades is ranging from satisfactory to excellence. He excels in edukasyon sa pagpapakatao and Araling Panlipunan, showing that he is hardworking and capable in these areas. However, Rico needs support and guidance in the subject mathematics to improve his skills and academic performance.